Welcome back. We have no SUPRA. We are proudly sponsored by Grammar Styling, who make automotive body parts, but we don't have any SUPRA. But we do have some of their parts. The SUPRA has gone. Forever. Not really, I kid. Like I get rid of my SUPRA yet. SUPRA has gone off the paint. It's just a nice stain on the floor and a few bumpers and two engines. It's gone. It's gone for paint, and I chose my paint today. I know what I'm having. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but yeah, I know what I'm having. I keep walking on bolts. I really need to clean up my floor. Pick up all these bolts. Yeah, so now that's gone for painting, we best do some work. And I need to paint my engine again. I'm not going to show that, that's pointless, but I do need to paint it, so I will paint the engine again. And then once I painted that, I shall come back to you, and we are going to run the oil lines. So I'll paint my engine because it's currently purple. It's not going to be purple no longer because, well, there's a clue. No, it's going to clash with purple, so I have to get rid of the purple. So I'll see you once I paint my engine. So after an hour of painting, the block is again a different colour. I have a silver block over there. This block obviously was just dirty, then it went purple, and now it's black. Not giving no hints away just yet of the colour of the car, but getting rid of the purple will probably be a clue somehow. Well, anyway, I've been removing bits because I've had to remove the manifold and that to get to the paint, or to get to the block to paint. I've noticed that we have a snap stud just there, and that one wasn't done by me. I haven't snapped any bolts or studs on this, and Chris isn't here either, so I'd normally blame him, but he's not here. So now I need to find a way of getting that out, because I've just tried to drill it so I can get it out, and it's rock solid. So I need to get some sort of stronger drill bit. And my drill bits are pretty good, to be fair, but I'm not touching that. So the smallest little mark. Like, I don't know if you can even see the slightest mark, and I've been using like a 2mm drill bit or 2.5mm drill bit. I keep standing on leaves. So that's going to be fun, but obviously I've got to get that out now before I can even put the pipes on securely. But I've removed all the water pipes because I'm going to be stealing the water pump off of that one. And if I can, which I might be able, no, I won't be able to. Would I be able to? I might be able to do it without. Is that? There's no ring there. Yeah, it is. Put that back in. I might be able to just swap that pump over without splitting it in half. I'm not 100% sure. It'd be nice if it does, because it's all currently sealed. So, well, that's where I'm at the moment. I mean, this is actually Thursday night, which would normally be upload day, but been busy. So upload day will hopefully be tomorrow, which will be Friday. But I'm leaving it in the garage now because it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'll do some internet research, find out how to get that stud out. I have stud extractors, before anyone says. I have them. They are there. But I can't currently make a pilot hole or anything to get the stud extractor to screw into. So, that's where we are currently. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so now it's time to actually do what I wanted to do in this video, and that is start doing the oil lines. Now, with a bit of luck, I should have most things, if not all things, that I need to actually run them. I kind of split it up a bit, so I've got return lines this side, and I've got obviously feed line this side. So let's take a look what we've actually got a bit closer. So this one's a bit obvious. This is obviously the feed line. This bit screws on to the adapter plate, or whatever you want to call it, that goes onto the turbo itself. We've got a bit of PTFE tape, which is a seal for the threads to help obviously seal against any leaks. So that's, you know, on the thread of that one. Then we have our sandwich plate here, which is of the correct size for our oil filter. Obviously we have a new oil filter there, obviously give it that way around. And we have the adapter which comes with it, because obviously it goes through like that. Oil filter actually screws onto this side, and obviously that goes on like that. Obviously it screws down, and then obviously this bit seals up onto the engine, and that screws onto the thread that's in the engine at the moment. I'll show you that at a closer date. I'm not planning on actually putting the oil filter on today, but this will go on today so we can see it. But this is everything we need for the setup for the lines. So I've took the turbo off and the manifold off because I had to paint. So while it's off the bench, we can have a look at what we need to do. I'm going to make sure this is nice and clean. I'm going to get a bit of rag and I should be back to you in a second. So I'm just going to remove any residue that is on here. But it's just a bit of dirt, to be honest. So here we have our plate that the feed line connects onto. If you have a look, it's got a tiny hole, which is a bit hard to see with the shine of it. It's got a very tiny hole. I assume that helps with pressure, because obviously the pipe's a good percentage thicker than the hole in here, so I assume it helps keep the pressure inside the turbo, or a restriction as it is. So with a gasket, that's going to go on like so. Please use some PTFE tape, because here's a Blue Peter one, here's one I've done already. Already got the tape on, so it's just a case of getting this gasket, placing the gasket on, and then placing that on the top, and then I'm going to put the camera down while I just put the bolts in. The bolts are currently here, as you can see, and they're Allen keys, and I'm going to tighten them up. And there we have, the Allen key bolts are very tight in there, because it's threaded into cast, so I've made sure it's nice and tight. Obviously that's going to be under pressure with the oil coming in, so you want to make sure that it's nice and tight and it seals, very well, otherwise what's the point. So now it's the time to have a look at the flange for the return. So here we have our return flange. It doesn't currently have anything on the thread yet, so that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to put some PTFE tape on the threads. And this is obviously used to help seal the thread from oil leaking. Because as it stands at the moment, obviously you have the metal thread and the metal pipe and the metal fittings, and there is no real seal between any of them. So it's worthwhile putting some of this stuff on to help seal things between all the threads. That way you can stop oil leaks coming in the future. Well, fingers crossed we are anyway. So I'm going to put some of that on to make sure the fitting still threads on. Which it does. It's a lot tighter than it was. Take off any loose bits. There we are. So then it's just a case of fitting it onto the turbo, just like we did with the other one. So set the screen round. There we go. I'll set this gasket out, put the gasket on, and then I'm going to use well, I have some stainless steel ones by the looks of it, and I've also got some black steel ones. Probably going to use the black steel ones, so I'm just going to put them on now. And there we have the bottom flange fitted as well, but as you can see, depending on how this is going to fit, we ain't going to get a fitting on. So it's now time to test fit the turbo back on and line this up, and then tighten it fully so we know where what goes, sort of thing. And then we can actually put a fitting on one of these fins. So I'm going to put it back onto the car at the moment, or back onto the block. Okay, I test fitted the turbo on the manifold again. Every bolt is tightened up now, so we can't twist no more. It's set up how it needs to be. So it's just a case now, really, of adding the extra fittings on and hope that they fit round the manifold. So I'm going to screw this one on, but only loose. I'm going to see if it clears the manifold. bet you it don't, but we'll find out. So even though if I hold that down like that, you can see that there's no room for the pipe. So I'm going to try and see what one of these angled pieces look like and see if I can bring it down this front section here. We'll just see how we go with that. So I'll remove the turbo, I'm going to change that fit in and put this one on. That fit in is a negative as well. There is no way that one's going to work. Turbo don't even sit down. So I'm going to look online and see what's the chances I can use a 90-degree one, because that's the only way really it's going to clear through. So come back to you. Well, like every other video, I'm stuck for some reason. I can't really carry on now with the return until I get a fitting that's actually going to work with what I've got, because I've got like 45 degrees and I've got 60 degrees. I think I'm going to need a 90 degree, and I think that's the only way that's going to work. As you can see, it's just going to hit. But it's just a case then of getting the right fitting, adding the pipe on, putting the fitting in the end, and adding the pipe on. Obviously cut the pipe down to size. So the return is nearly done. It's just a case of getting the right size. So we'll finish that off in another video when I find out what to use. Now we need to get the feed from here to there, which is pretty simple. Use the camera a second. So it's a case of screwing the pipe on. I mean, I'm not doing these permanent fittings anyway, because everything's going to have to come off when I drop it into the engine. And then, look, it's nice and long, and it will reach there. Now, that is how it's supposed to fit on. I don't really like the idea that it sticks up so high, because there's a bonnet somewhere. But saying that, I've got all the intake that goes across the top, so might work, but I'm going to see if I can get some sort of 90 degree. But anyway, let's fit it on this side. I'll grab the sandwich plate and then we can get this side fixed on. So you can see what you're doing. But if I need to get a new plate, because again I'll ask around online, I shall do so. So bear with me as we get the sandwich plate. So your oil feed screws into the side where you can screw into the side, or you can screw into one of these top ones of the sandwich plate. But you can also add like oil temperature sensors and pressure sensors, so that's something that we'll be looking into. And then you add this little sensor bit, and literally that one screws into the stock one. And there is a big nut so you can tighten it up. Obviously I'm only doing it on camera at the moment. Obviously you can tighten that up. I'll stick a socket on it, you won't get a spanner on that, you'd struggle. And that is technically an oil feed run. Now, I've seen people run it like that. I just don't like that, because I don't mind the pipe so much this side, because you can turn the sandwich plate down and you can take up some of the slack. But it's this bit on the top of the turbo. I don't like that. But you can tuck it away, but I just don't like this bit. I think it needs like a 90 degree adapter bit on, and I'm sure some of you probably agree, so the pipe comes out that way. But that is the universal kit that you can buy, and that's how it fits on, even though we've only done half a job really. But there's not a lot more I can do. I need to buy some more bits. This is the typical, you buy a universal kit and hope it works, and it don't always work. So now I need to do some more research, and I can't really carry on anymore with this video. But it's been, I've painted the block and I've run oil lines and can see more issues and more bits I need to buy. So what more can I say? It's been a productive and a costly video, because now I need to buy more bits. So thanks very much for watching part oil line video. I shall see you in another video. Peace, dudes. I shall see you on another video very soon. Bye bye. And drop the camera. Bye.